Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be ranking all of Taylor's albums. Now, I did do this a few months ago, but my ranking has since changed, so I decided to just make a new video about it. Before we get started, if you aren't already, please make sure to subscribe because I upload videos about Taylor Swift all the time, and this year I'm going to try and be better about uploading them regularly, and I'm going to upload at least once a week. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. But yeah, let's get on to the video. So in 10th place, I have Debut, or Taylor Swift. This album has never really stuck out to me, and I've never really been a country music person, so it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel that amazing. But I do like it as an album, and I think as a debut album, it's really good. It kind of sets up like her storytelling aspect and everything, and the writing on there is really good for the fact that she was only like 15 and 16 when she wrote most of that stuff. I think it's a really good album. It's just not my favorite. Okay, next up is going to be very controversial, I have a feeling. In 9th place is Red. I feel like everybody always loves Red so much, but it's just not my cup of tea. There are some songs on there that I really enjoy, but I feel like the ones that I do enjoy are the ones that people don't generally like. Like, I love Holy Ground, I love The Moment I Knew. I don't know, and most of the vault tracks are also really good, but just the album as a whole just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me. Like, it seems to enthrall other people. But I don't have anything against it. I think it's a good album as a whole. It's just, again, not one of my favorites. In 8th place is Folklore. I love Folklore and Evermore, but I don't know. Folklore, it's very cohesive as a whole. Most of the songs are very, I don't want to say similar because they're not similar, but they feel as though they belong together, and I like that a lot about it. But it just, I don't know, it's just not my favorite. If I was choosing an album to listen to, I don't think that I would choose Folklore specifically. But there are a bunch of songs on there that I really love. Like Invisible String, I think is probably my favorite song on Folklore, followed by Last Great American Dynasty, and I really like Betty. I love Betty. Oh, also My Tears Ricochet, I love that song so much. So there are individual songs that I love, but as a whole, Folklore just doesn't stick out to me. Also, unpopular opinion, but I'm not really a huge fan of Cardigan. I don't have a problem with it, and I think it's a cute song, and it's well written, obviously, because it's Taylor. Personally, I don't know, I feel like Cardigan is a little bit overrated. Just a little bit. 7th place is Fearless. I love Fearless for the nostalgia factor. It's just such a fun album. It's very high school-ish, and I love that about it, but I'm just not really a country music person. I love the storytelling element that's in country music, but I don't love country music in itself, if that makes sense. So I do love Fearless, but it just doesn't stick out to me a ton. There are songs on there that I absolutely love, like Hey Steven is probably my second favorite song of all time, but as a whole, it just isn't as good as some of the other albums that I prefer. In 6th place, I feel like this might kind of be controversial, but 6th place I have Reputation. I know a lot of people think that Reputation is Taylor's best album, or that it's amazing and nothing else is better than it aside from maybe one thing, but personally, I love Reputation. My little sister loves Reputation. She loves Delicate. I'm so excited for Reputation, Taylor's version, but I don't know, it's just not my favorite. I do really love it, but I feel like it's missing something. I feel like once the vault tracks come out, it might up it in my ranking, but for now it just feels, it might just be because I've listened to it so many times and it's so short relative to the other albums that Taylor has, but I don't know, it just feels like it's missing something. Like, it feels like I've drained all of the Reputation-ness out of it, and there's just not any left. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It just feels, I don't want to say bland because it doesn't feel bland, but it feels like I've just listened to it too many times and it just doesn't have that pull that it used to, you know? In 5th place is Midnights. This album, aside from being really good, is super special to me because it made my best friend a Swiftie. Well, technically I made my best friend a Swiftie, but she became a Swiftie when Midnights came out because of me. And that's also like what made us best friends, kind of. So it'll always be really special to me because of that. But there are also songs on there that just hold such a special place in my heart. Antihero, while it may be overplayed a lot and kind of overrated, it's also overhated because I just love Antihero. So catchy. I love the way that it's like this self-deprecating song, yet it's just this catchy pop beat and it just sounds so fun, but it's just not fun. But I feel like I can connect a lot with the lyrics, and yeah, I feel like overall out of Taylor's singles, it's one of my favorites of her singles. One of, not my favorite. You guys know what my favorite is. But yeah, I love Midnights. I do feel as though the 3 a.m. tracks are better than the actual tracks on the album, aside from like a few key ones on the album. But I'm so grateful for the 3 a.m. tracks. I love them so much, and I feel like they're definitely, I don't know if they're written better or if I just prefer them over the original Midnights tracks, but I feel like if they weren't on the album, I definitely would not have it as high in my ranking. So it's definitely the 3 a.m. tracks that boost it in my ranking. In 4th place is Speak Now. This might be kind of surprising because I'm not really a fan of country music, but I feel like Speak Now, even though it's technically a country album, it doesn't really feel as though it is. I don't really know how else to explain it, but I love Speak Now and I love the aesthetic of it, and I love just the idea of fairy tales and that whole thing. I'm a very storytelling driven person, if that makes sense, and so Speak Now with all like princesses and fairy tales and dragons and castles, and I'm actually wearing Speak Now merch right now. It has the little castle with the dragon and it says "Long live the walls we crashed through." It's so cute. I got it for Christmas from my mom and I love it so much. I think it's actually my favorite piece of Taylor merch that I own. But anyway, I love Speak Now. There are so many songs on there that I love. Long Live is my 3rd favorite song in the entire world. It's so good. I just love it so much. And yeah, I just love Speak Now. Alright, now for the top 3. I'm curious to see what you guys think my top 3 is. So if you're still watching, pause the video right now and comment down below what you think my top 3 ranking is going to be. Like what that order is going to be. 1, 2, and 3. And then unpause and I'll tell you guys what it actually is. Okay, so in 3rd place is 1989. I used to rank 1989 low because I feel like I didn't appreciate it to its full extent. But when the Taylor's version of it came out, I listened to it again from top to bottom, listened to the whole thing, and fell in love with it. I love it so much. I don't know, I just love it so much, and I think it's a lot deeper than most people give it credit for, because a lot of times it seems like it's just these pop tracks like Blank Space and Shake It Off, and I feel like Blank Space and Shake It Off kind of drag it down in my ranking, in my opinion, but the rest of the songs bring it up so much. And if you really take the time to listen to the songs, you can find so much more behind just the superficial like teen pop aspect of it. Like You Are in Love is one of my favorite songs ever. It's so good. The vault tracks are so good. Just the lyricism of the whole thing is so much deeper than I think a lot of people realize, and I'm so grateful that the Taylor's version came out because it gave me the chance to re-listen to everything and realize how much I actually did love the album. So yeah, 1989 is in 3rd place. My 2nd favorite Taylor Swift album is Lover. And I know this is an unpopular opinion because so many people talk smack about Lover all day long and they complain about it. They say that it's just not cohesive and she's just trying to do too many things with the album, has some of her worst songs. And while there are certain songs on Lover that I wouldn't exactly choose to listen to, like I wouldn't go on Spotify and say, okay, I want to listen to You Need to Calm Down. If it comes on, I'm not gonna skip it, you know? I just think Lover is such a fun album, and it's so summery and so bright, so happy. I just love it so much, and it's also the album that made me a Swiftie, so kind of special in that regard. So just the nostalgia and the memories associated with it, and then just the album as a whole and the aesthetic of the era and everything. I love it so much, and I will not listen. Well, I'll listen, but I won't agree with anyone who says that Lover is not a good album, because I think that it definitely is a good album, and I do not care what other people say. And last but not least, my favorite album, I'm sure you guessed, is Evermore. I love Evermore with my whole entire heart and soul and every fiber of my being. I love Evermore. It's so good. And as my favorite song in the entire universe on it, it's Willow, in case you didn't know that, but I literally talk about Willow like every single day. I just love it so much, and I love the storytelling aspect of it because, as I said before, I'm a huge sucker for storytelling. I love how it's like folklore, but it's like folklore's like darker, evil twin kind of, you know? I just feel like it's so much deeper and so much darker, and the witchcraft and just the whole aesthetic of it, it's just so perfect, and I just love it so much. And I think that truthfully, Evermore is just the best album that Taylor's ever written, and there's just no argument. That's a joke, FYI. You can have your opinion. I just really like Evermore. But yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my ranking of Taylor's albums. If you agree, that's great. If you disagree, that's also great. Let me know what your ranking is, because I love seeing different people's opinions. I love hearing not only what you rank stuff, but also why. And I love hearing like different like opinions and what people find and, you know, all that stuff. So comment down below your ranking and your reasoning behind it. And give this video a like if you enjoyed it, because I definitely enjoyed making it. And subscribe if you aren't already, because you made it to the end of the video, so obviously you enjoyed it. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!